Sonic
Lab
TV.
Now that many of us are using computers as an integrated part of our studio or music writing process, our monitoring requirements are changing. Gone are the old days when we would have PC monitors that came bundled with the desktop. In fact, they were rubbish and really no good for qualitative decision making when it comes to listening to audio. What we want now is simple, active, easy to install speaker systems. Most of these speakers are billed as being shielded. And this goes back to the days when if you put a couple of speakers with hefty magnets in next to a CRT or tube monitor, you get all sorts of weird distortions and stuff. This isn't so much of an issue now with today's TFTs and LCDs, but shielding is generally a good thing as it will cut down interference to other audio equipment that's sensitive to magnetic fields. M-Audio were pretty quick to recognise that this was the sort of thing we wanted, and they introduced their BX series of active speakers. They started off with BX5 and BX8s. The BX5s are what we're looking at today, and they've now reached the BX5A Deluxe. This latest in the BX range has a redesigned waveguide, this bit, excellent imaging, exceptional detail and tight bass, according to the sticker. But they would say that, wouldn't they? It's a bi-amped active speaker with 70 watts of power. That's 30 watts driving the tweeter, 40 watts driving the 5-inch bass unit. Power, plugging around the back, it will take 110 to 120 volts or 220 to 240 volts. Power supply is switchable, don't forget that, that's very important. You get that wrong, it's going to go bang. Audio connections are handled via an XLR input or a TRS 1/4 inch jack. Comprising of a 1-inch silk domed tweeter. These offer a silkier, softer top end. It's not so brittle or shiny as you get with metal domed tweeters, and it's not so fatiguing. It's also got a 5-inch Kevlar woofer. The bass port at the back gives a little more air movement, as you'd expect. It kind of extends the range. And they weigh in at 5 kilograms each, so they're quite substantial. Stated frequency range is 56 Hz to 22K. Now obviously in a speaker this size, it's going to be rolling off somewhere down there, so it's not going to be as large sounding as a larger speaker, but with the bass porting you do get quite a decent extended bass range.
SonicState.com.
Hello, welcome to Sonic Talk. So what do they sound like? Well, one thing I'd like to say is they are loud. For the size of the speakers that they are, they can really kick it out, and that is kind of quite impressive for a speaker this size. I turned them up as loud as I dared in this shared office environment, and it was shaking the room, frankly. I was quite surprised at how loud they are. One thing about speakers of this cost is they can be a bit blurry and the imaging can be a little ill-defined. The top end I found to be quite detailed and clear, and the imaging is good. They are right. The sticker's claims do actually kind of stand up to a degree. The bass response was actually quite good. I mean, it handled a wide range of sounds very well. Some of them sounded a little bit lumpy, but in terms of detail for the size of speakers, I think you actually get quite a lot out of them, and I would be happy to use them. I've been using them this week for sort of just various listening purposes, and I haven't been disappointed. I mean, they don't sound as good to my ears as my Genelec 1029As, but that's not really surprising. The Genelecs were nearly 4 times the price of the BX5As. The BX5A Deluxe retail at $399 US a pair. I've seen them from as little as 299 bucks, and that equates to around about 169 pounds. So what of the competition? Well, there is quite a lot out there in this particular size, but not as much of it is as keenly priced as the M-Audio BX5As. Some I did find are the Yamaha HS50M, which are bi-amped active monitors with a bass reflex, very similar specification. They're $500 a pair, but I've seen them for as little as $400. That's about £219. The KRK's Rocket RP5G2, which is the second generation of those monitors, seem very well priced. They started out life at 350 bucks each, so that's about $700 a pair, but I've seen them for as little as $150 each, so that's coming down to about 300 bucks a pair. The KRKs are very well thought of. The KRKs I have listened to are really nice. I've not listened to this particular range, but they might be worth checking out. Similar specifications also as the Mackie MR5, if you're more in the Mackie world. They obviously have a similar pedigree. They've got a bit more room correction on them. You can adjust the high frequency and low frequency, and I've seen those for, their list on those is $460. I've seen those for as little as $360. So all in all, I mean, I think for a sort of, if you're looking near field, or you just need something that's good jobbing that you can trust to a degree, I would say these are a good buy. If you need more bottom end, you can always go for one of the Giant BX10S subwoofer, which will give you a lot more extra definition down there, although you'll have to sort of tweak the settings on it. Remember, the original BX5s had a bass roll off, so you could actually kind of adjust that a little bit more to the room, which is a shame you don't get that, so that's a bit disappointing. But all in all, I'd say they're not a bad speaker, and I would certainly recommend them to people who are looking for a sort of reasonably priced way of upgrading from, say, PC speakers, or needed something for sort of near field monitoring or editing or whatever.